This video will show our user interface for creating advanced queries and reports starting from the raw HL7 messages, the parsing of these messages into JSON, stored secured with encryption, the selection of the HL7 segments and fields they want to report on by selecting simple checkboxes next to the segment fields, run the process and see the results of their requests. These results are also stored in a data lake securely encrypted and with the BDR proxy decrypted to display on the graphical interface. The next step will allow the user to report with group by options for counts based on topics like hospital, procedures, and most every HL7 data fields. The user also may concatenate columns like first name, last name, or other values into one column of data for more meaningful reporting. After this new video is shown, you may stay on and see our last video on our population of HL7 messages and other healthcare data into FHIR. This is a requirement as of July 2021 for allowing patient access to specific data as defined by CMS. Now on to the video. Here we are viewing the raw HL7 message that we can read as IoT stream or data at rest. We recommend using BDR to encrypt this data as soon as BDR starts processing or its watcher recognizes the messages enter a directory or stream. Now we are setting up the process to read the raw HL7 messages, convert them to JSON and then store the results in a data lake, securely encrypted. Now that the parsing into JSON is complete, you can see these results are stored in a data lake and securely encrypted to meet regulatory compliances. Now we establish the source of the stored encrypted HL7 messages for processing. Our BDR sophisticated proxy handles the decryption when necessary for our Spark 3 Java Spring Framework API to process the messages for reporting. We select the company profile for user-defined C segments and then start the selection of the segments and segment fields the user desires to query and optionally export to a hard copy report. While the query process is running, we can review the segments and fields we have selected. Now with the query process complete, we are viewing the query stored results and see that like BDR's other processes, the data is securely encrypted. By selecting the completed icon, we are now able to view the query results. If you are wondering how we are viewing the encrypted data, unencrypted, it is again thanks to the BDR proxy that handles the making available of the encrypted data. For more detailed and complex query reporting, we have established an interface for the user to select the value or values they want to group by for, counts based on specific column data, while also allowing the user to concatenate multiple segment values with their metadata headers for more meaningful and easy to read queries and reporting. The user may also add a description for additional, collaborative metadata. Again, we can see the user selections while processing. As we have seen with all the BDR processes, we store message results, query and reporting results encrypted. The same is true for the group by, concatenated query and report. Now we are viewing the query results of the user-defined group by with concatenated columns. Again, our BDR proxy handles the ability to read and present the encrypted stored results. Now we export this report to a CSV file and see the results appear the same as they do on the graphical query representation. We offer the user the ability to search on all the message segment data to narrow in on their needs, then alter the query to their search criteria. As we see in the export process, the CSV report also reflects the user search criteria. This concludes the new automated healthcare query and reporting processing for HL7 messages. Now on to our previous video demonstrating the processing of HL7 messages and another medical object, in this case an X-ray being processed and imported into FHIR.
FHIR simplified. Process, parse and report on HL7 messages with user Z segments. Import HL7 and healthcare data into FHIR with a Spark 3 Spring automated framework and graphical interface. Process healthcare files via IoT or data at rest, for simplified, quick and accurate processing. Our technology is comprehensive, so we deliver in days when others need many months. At the end of the migration of HL7 and an X-ray image automated into FHIR is a shortened recap of our HL7 parsing, encryption, query and reporting with even user Z segments. Here we see a raw HL7 message. We can process raw HL7 or HL7 parsed into JSON or XML into FHIR, encrypted. Now we are seeing how Big Data Revealed's graphical interface allows the user to select a source for HL7 messages, again in raw, XML or JSON formats reside for processing into the FHIR via their APIs. Big Data Revealed is a Spark 3, Java, Spring Framework application. Next, the user may select one or more healthcare documents, videos, images or most any type of media to be imported into the FHIR environment. In this case we are migrating a chest X-ray. Here we see the Big Data Revealed application securely encrypted the HL7 messages as it will all capable healthcare documents and images, within FHIR. Now we have run a query using the FHIR API and viewing the HL7 message segments for patient 1, as it now resides in MySQL in the FHIR environment. As we see, all the information has been successfully imported in from our HL7 input we selected. Here we see the binary representation of the chest X-ray we imported into the FHIR environment. Here is the actual image of this chest X-ray that was stored for this patient. Here is a more detailed look again at the patient's HL7 messages, segments, and details of the HL7 messages. Here we see several of the HL7 segments with all their detail that was delivered from the raw HL7 message via the Big Data Revealed and FHIR APIs. Again, Big Data Revealed stores all healthcare personal information encrypted, when the data types are capable of encryption in the FHIR environment.
Our automated HL7, FHIR Healthcare Processing, AHP, can achieve CMS interoperability and limit HIPAA exposures. AHP provides automated queries in a secured, encrypted environment while you maintain control of your regulated healthcare data. Available, On-Prem, VM and AWS AMI. BDR-Healthcare Team available for 30-day FHIR HL7 implementations. Our automated technology delivers in a month, what others will need a year or more. 1. Process, parse and report on HL7 messages, including user Z segments. 2. Import HL7 and healthcare data into FHIR, encrypted, with a Spark 3, Spring Framework and Graphical interface. 3. Process healthcare files from IoT or data at rest. 4. Parse HL7 and store as encrypted data into XML or JSON. 5. Report features include field concatenation and group by options. 6. BDR's proxy server seamlessly accesses any encrypted data in FHIR for use in reporting or your business applications. BDR's healthcare framework is Spark 3, Java with HAPI, HL7 plus FHIR. Big Data Revealed 847-440-4439.